In the mystical kingdom of Alen, there lived a princess named Alen. You might imagine a life of parties and adoration, but for Alen it was a world of silence. Adorned with a sparkling crown and a shimmering gown, she was, by all accounts, a princess. Yet she walked through the grand halls of her own castle like a ghost, unnoticed by her family, unseen by the court. She was the forgotten princess, a beautiful secret hidden in plain sight, and a deep loneliness had taken root in her heart. It was this very loneliness that drew the attention of a cunning sorcerer, Malak Ka. He appeared to her one day, his voice a sly whisper in the quiet of her chambers. He sensed her ache to be seen, her yearning for connection, and so he offered her a gift, a dark and tempting solution to her pain, the power to become truly invisible. He promised it would make her remarkable, someone people would finally seek out. Desperate, Alen accepted, believing that by disappearing she might finally be found. At first, the invisibility was a strange thrill. She could drift through the castle, observing life without being part of it. But the thrill quickly soured. She wasn't just unseen anymore. She was forgotten entirely. The faint memories people had of her faded like mist in the morning sun. The invisibility she thought would make her worthy of attention had become a curse, an unbreakable cage of solitude. This was not power, it was erasure. She realized with chilling certainty that she had to break free. Her quest for release led her to the enchanted forest of whispers, a place where the trees murmured secrets of the past and illusions danced in the dappled sunlight. She was not entirely alone, however. She was guided by the kind and powerful sorceress, Anara, who saw the true strength within Alen. Anara gifted her a shard of the shadow mirror, an ancient and powerful relic tied to Malak Ka's dark magic. This small, gleaming piece of glass was her only hope. The journey was more perilous than she could have ever imagined. Malak Ka, furious at her defiance, laid sinister traps across her path. The forest of whispers tested her resolve, conjuring illusions of her deepest fears, visions of a life where she was truly and forever alone. Doubt crept into her mind, a cold voice telling her to give up, to accept her fate. But with every step, she held onto the memory of Anara's faith in her and the warmth of the mirror shard in her hand. She had to trust in her unseen allies and, more importantly, in herself. Summoning every last ounce of courage she possessed, Alen pushed through the phantoms and the fear. She learned to discern truth from illusion, to listen to her own heart over the whispers of despair. Her journey was no longer just about breaking a spell. It was about discovering who she was when no one was watching. It was in that solitude that she found her own light, a power far greater than any magic Malak Ka could ever wield. Finally, she confronted the source of her curse. Standing before the full, menacing shadow mirror, she saw not just her reflection, but the embodiment of her loneliness. Instead of shrinking away, she raised the shard with a defiant cry that came from the very core of her being. She brought it down, shattering the mirror into 1,000 pieces. A wave of brilliant light erupted, and the dark magic dissolved. The spell was broken. Alen returned to her kingdom, but she was not the same forgotten girl who had left. She walked into the great hall, and for the first time, heads turned. Her family rushed to her, their eyes filled with recognition and love. She was no longer invisible. She was Alen, a hero who had faced down darkness and found herself in the process. She had embraced her true self, and in doing so became visible, loved, and more powerful than she had ever dreamed. Thank you so much for joining me on this magical journey. If you enjoyed Alan's story, please hit that like button and subscribe for more fantasy adventures. We'd love to have you in our community. See you in the next story.